Hi everyone, please subscribe my YouTube channel. Each summer during the closing weekend, my relatives assemble for a huge cookout at my uncle's house. It's an all-day festivity, packed with 3 generations, unlimited meals, and cheerful disorder. It's a custom grounded in unity and ancestry. It's the least likely spot you'd anticipate your existence to crumble, but that's precisely what occurred to me last Saturday. My name is Alex. I'm a site supervisor at a building company, managing major developments, corporate skyscrapers, healthcare facilities, university grounds. My profession involves imposing structure on intricacy, converting numerous shifting elements into a robust, unified entity. I assumed my bond with my partner, Sophia, was the most dependable aspect of my world. We'd been paired for 2 years, occupying my residence for the previous one. We functioned as a unit with a common goal. Wedding, children, a destiny we'd outlined. I trusted in that blueprint. Sophia was lively, clever, and the highlight at every assembly. Her adventurous spirit was exhilarating, a counterpoint to my systematic approach, or so I persuaded myself. My kin adored her. They were captivated by her vitality and her tailies. She integrated seamlessly. That Saturday was an impeccable end-of-summer afternoon. The cookout was buzzing with motion. My siblings flinging a disc, youngsters racing through water jets, grown-ups on the veranda nursing beverages and chuckling. I was manning the barbecue preparing ribs, sensing complete serenity. Sophia was amusing my relatives and kin nearby, their dialogue floating from a star's betrothal to our personal prospects. I was merely partially attuned, concentrated on the flames. Then my sibling inquired, "So, when are you pair sealing the deal?" And that's when Sophia unleashed a shocker. She emitted a boisterous, overstated guffaw that drew attention. "Oh, come on," she declared, her tone resonating across the veranda. "If we ever tie the knot, he'll be fortunate if I remain loyal." The banter ceased. The sole noises were the sizzle of the barbecue and the distant titters of youngsters afar. I stiffened, Turner in grip, gazing at the scorching flesh. Sophia attempted to dismiss it with laughter. "Just teasing," she claimed, but her inflection was forced, artificial. Mostly, a handful of uneasy snickers ensued, but the atmosphere had altered. The radiant day now seemed oppressive. I didn't pivot, I didn't utter a word. I continued barbecuing, my actions stable, intentional. Internally, I was staggering. It wasn't merely the slight, it was the open presentation. She proclaimed to my whole kin that our connection was a farce, that my loyalty was expendable. I distributed the meals, joined my family, and pretended as if zero had occurred. I grinned, conversed, and portrayed the undisturbed partner. Sophia kept peeking at me, probing for a response. I offered her nothing. I was an immovable barrier. Later, as the gathering tapered off, my Uncle Tom drew me aside. Tom, my father's elder sibling, is a former investigator, a guy who's witnessed mankind's peaks and valleys. He communicates sparingly, but his statements hold significance. He guided me to a secluded section of the lawn, distant from the lights and remaining visitors. His stare was firm. I caught what she uttered. He stated, his tone deep and serious. I simply nodded. "You're a solid guy, Alex," he continued. "You construct items to last. That lady, she's all glitter, no depth." He peered back at the festivity, where Sophia was chuckling with my relative as if zero had transpired. "You're enraged," he noted, not querying but affirming. "You desire to head home and challenge her. Yell. Perhaps even terminate it this evening." He was accurate. That's precisely what I craved. "Refrain," he commanded resolutely. "That's what she's anticipating. A massive argument where she can weep, regret, label it a silly prank, and you'll pardon her because you feel. Then she'll realize she can dishonor you, and all it requires is some turmoil." He clasped my arm. "A lady who jests about unfaithfulness isn't jesting. She's probing you, gauging how much she can nudge. She's revealing her true self. The gravest error you can commit is disregard that." "So what do I proceed?" I queried. His guidance was direct but revolutionary. "You perform zero," he advised. "Return home, behave ordinarily, permit her to believe she's safe. Allow her to unwind. While she's unwound, you become keen. Uncover if that remark was isolated or element of a larger scenario. Don't become furious. Acquire facts. Individuals like her don't dread wrath, they dread revelation." I gazed at my uncle and comprehended. He wasn't instructing me to retreat. He was instructing me to plan. The destiny I'd envisioned, wedding, children, was vanished. A fresh scheme was emerging, an exact computed disassembly. I rejoined the festivity, beamed at Sophia, and commenced scheming. Update 1, it's been 7 days since the cookout. 7 days of enacting the committed partner while silently probing. My Uncle Tom's phrases direct me: don't become sentimental, acquire facts. On the journey home that evening, Sophia eventually raised it. Are you bothered? She questioned, her tone gentle and wary. I eyed her. About what? You know my remark, she replied. It was foolish. I was merely attempting to be humorous. I've got an odd humor occasionally. I shrugged. It's okay, I stated. I understand. Her ease was evident. She believed she'd evaded a crisis, that my quiet at the cookout was just me being sullen. She had no idea I was reevaluating all. For days, she was the perfect partner, affectionate, caring. No more sharp quips. She believed she'd probed a boundary and I'd permitted it to pass. She was at ease. Meanwhile, I was operating. I required to determine if her remark was a reckless lapse or indicator of something profound. I began with her device. We'd always exchanged entry, a confidence she'd evidently violated. Late one evening while she slumbered, I examined it. I wasn't seeking an overt admission, just trends. There were no evident notes from other males. She was too astute for that, but I detected something peculiar. Her message chains with specific male acquaintances were abnormally thin. Breaks in dialogues, absent periods. Her call records displayed calls to those contacts, but the messages were removed. Blameless folks don't wipe their paths so meticulously. Then I discovered a group discussion with her 3 nearest companions, labeled the Liberty Crew. I perused through months of notes. It was an open journal of their existences, bonds, and aspirations, and a wealth of understanding. They discussed me frequently, dubbing me the controller or Mr. Dependable. They ridiculed my consistent schedule, my foreseeable existence. Sophia's notes were the most disclosing. She ranted about feeling restricted, yearning excitement. The day prior to the cookout, one companion queried if she was prepared to dedicate to me. Sophia's answer, absolutely not, but the arrangement's too beneficial to abandon currently. He's a reliable backup while I figure out what I truly desire. A man who's not fixated on repairing the shed on weekends. Another companion cautioned, be cautious. He's not foolish. What if he discovers? Sophia's retort froze me. He won't. He relies on me fully. I could likely stray on him. And as long as I fluttered my lashes and said I adored him, he'd accept it. He's just fortunate I haven't yet. There it was. Her cookout quip wasn't a quip. It was her reality, mildly rephrased. A probe, as Tom forecasted, to observe how much I'd endure. I stored captures of the discussion to a protected digital storage. That was my proof. Now I needed a method to reveal her. The opportunity arrived 2 days later. Sophia returned home thrilled with enthusiasm. Her closest companion, the one who doubted her dedication, was betrothed after a dreamy proposal in Paris. They were hosting a grand betrothal celebration in 3 weeks at a city center venue. It's going to be amazing, Sophia raved. All will attend. We need to acquire you a crisp new outfit. A splendid celebration filled with her companions and the group she wished to impress. The ideal platform. I passed the following week readying. I enacted the adoring partner, aiding her select a gown, scheduling an outfit adjustment, hearing her enthuse about the proposal and the gem's size. Behind the curtain, I was initiating my scheme. I contacted the occasion coordinator, someone my firm had collaborated with previously. I proposed a surprise for the betrothed pair, a montage of their recollections to display on the location monitors. She adored the concept and forwarded me the requirements for the media file. I created the montage meticulously. It opened with endearing images of the pair, their companions, and even a few of me and Sophia appearing joyful together. But the concluding 30 seconds changed direction. The captures from her group discussion, her statements shown in large, distinct lettering, paired with soft keyboard tunes. He's a reliable backup while I figure out what I truly desire. He relies on me fully. He's just fortunate I haven't strayed yet. The montage was finished. The platform was prepared. Sophia believed the celebration was about her companion. She had no inkling it was her final act. Update 2. The betrothal celebration sensed like the calm prior to a tempest. I wasn't nervous. I was focused. I had an objective, a framework to demolish, and the instruments to accomplish it. We entered the hotel hall, a sparkling display of elegant attire, tailored ensembles, and arrogant dialogue. Sophia flourished in it, drifting between clusters, giggling, cheek-kissing, dragging me along like an accessory. I beamed, acknowledged, and fulfilled my part. I delivered the media file to the occasion coordinator. Display it following the bride's father's address, I directed. She nodded and proceeded to the control area. The speeches started an hour in. The bride's father spoke movingly. The groomsmen recounted amusing stories, and the groom offered a heartfelt homage to his bride. As he concluded, the illumination faded. The coordinator's voice declared, and now, a unique homage from a dear companion, honoring treasured instances. The keyboard tunes commenced and the montage initiated. I positioned beside Sophia at the rear of the space. She pressed my limb, beaming. "This is so considerate," she murmured. The initial few minutes were touching. Images of the pair, their companions, and us appearing like an ideal duo. The audience grinned, some dabbing eyes. Then the tunes intensified and the concluding 30 seconds struck. The first capture emerged. He's a reliable backup while I figure out what I truly desire. Sophia's hold on my limb intensified. Her beam disappeared. "What's this?" she murmured, her tone quivering. The next capture, "He relies on me fully." Whispers spread through the space as attendees perused the statements. Heads swiveled, gazes shifting from the monitors to Sophia. Bewilderment supplanting their delight. Then the ultimate capture. "He's just fortunate I haven't strayed yet." Quiet descended. The keyboard tunes felt like a dirge. The monitors blackened, the illumination resumed, and every stare locked on Sophia. Her expression was a depiction of astonishment and dread. Her Liberty crew companions appeared similarly shocked. Their own involvement exposed. I bent in, my tone a serene murmur. "Not so amusing now, is it?" I didn't await a response. I retreated, pivoted, and exited the hall. My stride stable, leisurely, I didn't glance back. As the entrances shut, I heard the disorder explode. Weep's elevated tones. The tempest had erupted. Uncle Tom was awaiting in the entrance area. I had informed him my scheme earlier that day. He hadn't doubted it. Just said, "I'll be present." He rose as I neared, a silent satisfaction in his gaze. "Let's obtain a beverage," he proposed. "You appear like a man who just escaped." He was correct. I was freed. Final updates: 6 months have elapsed since the celebration. The disassembly is complete, and I'm removing the debris, establishing the base for something fresh. This isn't a tale of retribution. It's about responsibility and advancing. The celebration's consequence was rapid and complete. Sophia disintegrated. Her closest companion, the bride, was furious that her evening was eclipsed, and their bond terminated. Sophia's social network crumbled. The irrefutable proof, her own statements on those monitors, circulated through her circle. She wasn't a casualty. She was the architect of her own collapse. Her companions, the ones she'd labored to astonish, viewed her as a schemer and severed ties. She attempted to counter, asserting I'd fabricated the captures, depicting me as possessive and domineering. But my standing remained strong, and her statements were too damning. She forfeited her position at a public relations firm where the groom, her companion's fiancé, was a top executive. He didn't dismiss her directly, but the environment became so antagonistic, filled with murmurs and distant attitudes, that she had to resign. She vacated my residence. I'd already packed her items and placed them in the storage area. Her father retrieved them. When I encountered him briefly weeks later, he couldn't maintain eye contact, burdened by shame. Sophia now resides in a simple dwelling across the city, holding a basic role, attempting to reconstruct. Her social existence is vanished, her standing damaged. 2 months ago, she dispatched me an extended message. Part regret, part accusation, part self-compassion. She labeled her cookout remark the greatest error of her existence, maintaining she didn't intend it, just wished to appear bold. She even faulted Uncle Tom, dubbing him a resentful elder for his guidance. That statement revealed she still didn't grasp. She faulted all her quip my uncle except herself. I erased the message without replying. My existence is peaceful now, stable. I've been passing time with my kin, the genuine supports of my world. Uncle Tom and I go angling every alternate weekend. We don't address the history, it's implicit between us. He just pats my arm and says, "You managed it effectively, lad." The true triumph wasn't the montage or the open revelation. It was trusting her. At the cookout, she displayed who she was, and Uncle Tom instructed me to rely on that. His guidance wasn't about vengeance. It was about self-value. I accepted her at her statement and proceeded accordingly. She believed she could manipulate my dedication, retaining me as a reserve while pursuing rushes. She didn't comprehend that for me, dedication isn't a pastime. It's a base. When you demonstrate your vows are empty, I don't explode. I disassemble the framework and reconstruct on solider terrain. And the new base I'm establishing is more robust than ever.